So what comes to your mind when you think of IKEA? The one word, if you can.
Furniture.
Yeah, furniture. Yeah.
That's good.
Meatballs.
Meatballs, amazing.
The
Anything
hot
else?
dogs, 50p hot dogs.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The owls who spend in the shop.
Yes.
We never
And
spend 10 minutes on it. Never.
so I was mentioning before that I love shopping, but I would like to say that I'm a very conscious shopper as well. So when I joined the brand, I was not very much aware. I was not aware where Sweden actually is, and I was confused. Sweden, Switzerland, where am I going? And people still get confused apparently with the Spotify fiasco that happened on the New York Wall Street. Yeah, so. One word that still I take with me when I talk about IKEA is trust. And Tom, you talked about that trust when it comes to the brands as well. So we would like to talk about how IKEA, such a huge home furnishing retailer, can be purposeful, meaningful, and trusted to connect with not just the customers, but everyone who interacts, who comes in close connection with us. So I did not want to go through so much deeper into the localization processes, and there we can have discussions separately. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what IKEA actually stands for and what it is. So IKEA, I call it, but it is IKEA. So my Swedish friends are right. And it's an acronym, first of all. So IKEA stands for Ingvar Kamprad. That's the name of our founder. 75 years old company, and Elmtarid, Agunarid. So Elmtarid was the farm he grew up in, and Agunarid was the village he grew up in. So now you know. Not many people know. And I represent Inka, and Inka is ING for Ingvar and KA for Kamprad. IKEA, there is no company in the world called IKEA. IKEA is a brand, it's a concept. So it's a franchise concept, of which Inter-IKEA System Group is the franchisor. They're based in Netherlands. And we have 12 franchises, out of which I represent Inka, which owns 85% of the stores around the world in 30 countries so far. In total, we have 52 countries, and we will soon have South America as well. So that also something that people don't know. So I can talk about the other companies and what do they do, how the franchise or franchise relations is, but I cannot talk on behalf of those companies. We are very different. We work very closely together, but it's like Amazon and IKEA talking. So I try to bring that understanding to people within our own company, because we have been so closely, the same kind of people working together and switching from one to another. So Inka has 3 legs or 3 main businesses, and I'll talk more about that. There is one called IKEA Retail. So IKEA Retail name is given to all the countries or all the stores where we operate. So 30 countries and 367 stores. I'll show you some numbers in a while. And then we have Inka Investments, which is our portfolio investing into different solar businesses or venture capital. So there I'll also go a little bit more in detail. And then we have Inka Centers. I don't know if you know, we own shopping centers as well in 13 countries, majorly in Russia and China. So we lease the land to other retailers. So we own the whole shopping center in which IKEA's store is there, but then there is H&M, there is Mango, there is another store as well. So that's also one of our business. So Inka is the major franchisee. Yeah? The other 11 franchisees, they operate mostly in the Middle Eastern markets and in Asian markets, also in the South American markets. Majority of Europe, the countries you can think of, North America, Canada, together, and China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, India belongs to Inka. So that's high level. Sorry about the quality of the picture. Apparently, the team didn't think it will be too light. This is a very, very high-level picture, and now we are going into the e-commerce section. As you know, we are talking about having digital experience, connecting to the customers in wherever they are. We are looking onto your mobile apps, browsing, but then some of us wants to go home to our desktops and want to order from there, so that's also okay. How do we support that? And we already know the Gen Z and the kids of 5 years old, they know, how to work on the digital platforms. IKEA was founded in Sweden. It's a Swedish company. So that's the legacy we bring together with us. And it's such a great cultural heritage. And the trust, the bonding that you see people, I call it IKEA as a cult. If you join, I meet people 20, 25, 30 years, 40 years experience within IKEA just after university. They have joined and they've never left because they have learned to grow with the company in different domains, and but also love it. Not just because it's a great brand to work for, not just because it's an amazing company growing so fast, but also because of the values that we bring together with it. The Swedish roots, which are cost conscious, and it comes from a part of Sweden, which is called Småland, and that is a very famous place in Sweden. I hope the Swedish friends will agree to that they are really known for making the best value out of, your investment. So that place is so famous for that kind of mindset. So what they did, and a quick story, so they were trying to make the land plowable or to grow crops. Then they kept on finding stones, like huge stones. So either one way is you can just throw it on one side, make it a pile. They started to make a stone wall. So this has become such a great symbolic figure or a feature of that particular place called Småland that we have also taken it into our Swedish legacy or heritage. And when we talk about customers or consumers as of today, I would believe that most of us would like to go to a brand that is more purpose-led, and we know what it stands for. So we know where this cloth I'm wearing, it comes from. It comes from a genuine place. So we don't feel, and what are we doing to contribute to the society, to the climate in general? There are much bigger issues than just consumerism or capitalism. So this is what we have as our purpose. So last year I was in the IKEA Business Planning Week. 450 of our leaders from all around the world, around 30 markets, with the extended management teams, country heads, they came. And it was my first experience in that event because it is only invite basis. Everybody was so passionate about the purpose. Purpose is to make a better everyday life for the many people. So this, when everybody takes it in their heart and wants to make the better everyday life for the many people, so what kind of thinking it is? I don't want to sell to the many people, but I want to make your life, your day-to-day life, your home, which is so close to you, to everybody, better. So this is how their mindset works, not like profitability, not about this. There were, of course, discussions separately on those topics, but everybody coming together talking about just this big purpose. Where do we want to go as a company? We are 158,000 co-workers across 30 countries, and our 31st country will be New Zealand. Is there anybody from New Zealand? No. They are very happy. So I've met some people on my travels, and then they say, oh, wow, you're from IKEA. And then either they have some complaints, and I say, okay, I'll take them with me. Or they say, no, I love shopping. And I'm like, oh, perfect, that pays for my salary as well. So keep doing that. What stands us apart? So when I started to work at IKEA, I wanted to learn not just about the localization, but about the industry as such, that who else is our competitor? Who else is in the same space? Can you think of any other names exactly the same size and... Habitat.
Yeah. There's also Danish brand East. Yeah.
not that big.
Yeah, I mean, not the size, but the same.
No, the same size and the scope and it's been 75 years. Someone else had the opportunity to be what we are or do what we do. But what we have really focused on is to focus on the customers. We do a research across 30 markets called Life at Home report. So there are a lot of surveys through the customers, and then we look into how people live their life. What are the things that they want to focus on? Is it privacy at home? What does privacy mean to you? Do you want to have your own little space where you can go and cuddle and just be there reading your book? Or does it mean that you want to be with your loved ones? Is that your private space? So we do a lot of research like that, which does not give us commercial benefit right away. And that's not how we want to operate. We want to understand what's going on in your psyche. What can we learn from how the trends are changing into consumer behavior? How the millennials or the generation Z is thinking about when they shop, but not only shop, when they want to join the workforce, when they want to come and work with a company that actually stands for what they say. So we have always kept the customers at the heart of what we do, and there are 3 roads that we try to follow most of the times. It's or in the new direction is affordability, that we want. If we are talking about the many people, it has to be affordable, right? It's an amazing furniture, but what if people cannot even afford it? So in some countries, we saw that even our coworkers did not have the enough salary that they can buy that product. How can they sell that product to someone when they can't even afford it? So we did some changes in there into the pay structure and looked into the wages. So it's not just walk the talk, like, okay, go and sell this furniture, right? We could have said that, but no. We want to look at it internal first and coworkers first, and then we look at the bigger picture. We are creating a people movement. This, generally, we are always following the IKEA values. This year is a historic moment when we are talking about all the values that people stand for, and we are celebrating. So this year we are calling it Celebrating IKEA Culture and Values, and it's cost consciousness, togetherness, caring for people and planet, leadership, lead by example, accept and delegate the responsibility. So there are many great values that in last 6.5 years of me working in IKEA and interacting with so many people across the world, it's, again, as I said, it's a cult. People just love it, and they would talk from the heart. So when you are talking to the hearts of people, then it's taking you in a long direction. So we are already starting to prep for next 75 years and more. And that's how I see the future of retail as well. That is it just fast fashion? Is it just consumerism? Or is it more customer focus? We are doing really cool things about the climate. Our CEO, Jesper Brodin for Inca Group, he has been participating in different forums and places where he can raise this bar, because IKEA is such a huge name that when you come together with other bigger companies like Lego, and then we are talking to Adidas as well, actually, to have a collaboration in how can we push the governments, how can we push these lawmaking agencies to think far ahead in future. Our next generation is already saying that, right? Greta is leading such an amazing campaign around the world. So we have heard that, we have seen that. So what are we doing as a company? We have made our promise. And as I said, that we cannot just, make a statement today and we just move on. It's so big a movement that we are taking time. But we have made a commitment. And we have said it out loud in terms of concrete actions and numbers, that by 2030, we will do this. By 2030, we should be able to have electric vehicles giving all the deliveries to our customers. By 2030, we should have our solar energy or having clean energy supporting all our stores. It's a huge commitment, right? 11 years only now. There isn't much time left when you think about that. And the times have changed, more than people trust the governments, more than people trust the political figures, I think they trust their companies more and more. So if they believe in where you are as an organization, as a company, then they would follow you to the end. So this is also that we would like to bring in, that we look at LGBTQ campaigns, what's happening. Gender, diversity, inclusion, equality in pay. So we are really taking a big stand in all those places. And that's where I see that all the big retail, or not just retail, all the big companies should actually focus on as well. You have always seen IKEA as this big blue, yellow store outside the city somewhere, right? It takes hour and a half, sometimes 2-3 hours to reach to the closest store to buy the products. It takes a lot of time for you to go around the maze. You have seen different videos on YouTube where couples are fighting as well, and they say if you survive an IKEA trip, your relationship is good to go. And more than that, if you can assemble that furniture together without the fight, right? There's so many things that come up. But we want to be closer to the customers, wherever they are, however you want us to be. So there are, in London city itself, you have seen that store on the shopping street, just next to the Oxford Street, I think. It's a parallel. Yeah. So we are going more and more closer to the city centers. We are becoming more and more digital, so you can look at stuff, you can just buy. We are going more digital in terms of, have you tried the VR thing? The virtual reality experience, where you can put that on and you can see, okay, where my furniture would fit. This will look good on, no? You should try that out. That's really cool feature. And a few weeks ago, I was part of the tech festival, or IKEA Digital Festival, where we looked at amazing robotic furniture that is going to be also part of our range. Give us a couple of years and you will see that. So you see all the modular furniture, you press a button and it opens up and makes a bed and folds into something. That's the direction we are going towards.
Pressing the button, it will mount itself.
Like a transformer, right? Could be. If you have the idea, if you have the ideas, we do a lot of hackathons, so you can participate in that, and you can join the cult movement. So as I mentioned that by not 2030, I was a little bit late. By 2025, actually, we will have 100% zero carbon emissions, and that's a 0% carbon emission home deliveries. And in 4 countries, Australia, China, France, and India, we're already doing that. We're already deployed electrical vehicles, but then we are going to go faster by 2020, which is next year in some of the cities. And these are really major cities like New York, Los Angeles, Paris, Shanghai. They're like really, they need it. I hope Delhi was also there because it's a gas chamber right now. And we are thinking of generations to come. So Inca Investments, as I mentioned before, they are also doing investments in terms of startups, venture capital funding to different initiatives that are coming to our notice, and especially in terms of the food ideas. And this is where I think that the retail has to completely shift its focus. Now it's not only a furniture company. Now we are thinking also in terms of, okay, what can we do in terms of IKEA food? People only thought about Swedish meatballs, right? Or hot dogs. But now we are increasing that range, where we are going into the complete restaurant sections. You will see in a couple of years there will be more and more. So this is just a sneak peek, a preview of what's going to happen, but we have amazing plans, even for the IKEA food range. So it's, see, you have to change that thought leadership, and it doesn't have to happen overnight, but sometimes it does, and which is good. And then we get a new CEO, and suddenly it's like, okay, we need to go in that direction. New IKEA in 3 years, and we are already halfway down that road. So really cool things happening. This I already mentioned to you, that we have an amazing concept of shopping centers. And we don't call it shopping centers, we call it meeting places where people come and meet with each other. That's also, yeah. Oh, I didn't want to put it in there because you can't read all of those things, but just wanted to say that we have 10 jobs. I mean, out of 100, we have these 10 jobs that everybody is focusing on for the next 3 years, out of which 1.5 years is already gone. And The first job is to create a strong position leading from our purpose. And that's what I meant. That we do not say, okay, we need to increase the sales, that's our focus. We need to create digital. No, no, no. What is our purpose? That we want to be close to your hearts and minds. So whenever you think of furniture, whenever you think of home furnishing, whenever you think of clean energy, you should think of IKEA. Not just Swedish meatballs, not just furniture. So we want to change that position. This is a very quick glance of how our financial report looks like. We are not a public listed company, as I hope you all are aware. So we are not required to publish anything actually to stakeholders or to anybody, but we do this yearly report to give a very interesting preview of what has happened in the last financial year. So yeah, you can see we are undergoing a huge transformation and a reorganization. I don't know if you have been going through the news articles. There were job cuts as well. There were complete, new organization being set up like digital. We are hiring huge amounts of people. So that is all happening. But still, during this transformation, we are able to grow 5%, which not many companies can say in the world. So I'm very, very proud to be part of the brand, of this brand, which, and also this company, which is leading the agenda of not just performing, but also doing it with a meaning, with a purpose, to bring smiles and great inspiration to your home movements. And that's it.